Hello, my friends. It is me, your friendly neighborhood medium, artist, and oracle, eikaneeru, or eika for short, or E for shorter, or baby love out of love. Like, however you want to freaking finesse that, I'm okay with it as long as it is done in love and good faith. I received that. But yeah, I'm here today to share some prophecies and some visions that I had that are specifically for the fall season. So September, I ain't even gonna say September 21st, like at the start of September to the end of November, these visions and these visions will be relevant. And even more specifically, these visions are relevant to the Southeast Michigan area. Okay, so this is like Detroit and surrounding cities. Okay, so I think that's Southeast. Yes, I think so. So like if you're like in Royal Oak, Ferndale, Livonia, Warren, East Point, I'm not gonna name them all, but like if you live here, you get the gist of what I'm talking about. But Hazel Park, Highland Park, Oak Park, Hamtramck, Westland, Garden City. I can't think of any other ones right now. But if you're like in that area, this is the area, like, if you're in that area or surrounding that area, this is for you, or this is for you, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna get into it. Okay. It's very specific for the reason that Spirit wanted me to be specific. I think I was getting visions and stuff, and I do end up getting like visions from different places in the world, but that can be a little scattered sometimes, and it can be a lot to take in, honestly, for just one person. So I think that especially to take in, and then also to kind of like put in a video form, that's just kind of too much, and it won't just be relevant. And I feel like Spirit doesn't want me to leave that discernment up to anyone else. It's, they're like, listen, if you're in this area, this is for you. Okay, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. I wrote them down so it'd be easier for me. So the first one is letters in the mail with your government name on it. So Spirit specifically showed me that vision, and what I got from that was that there's very important messages or news that needs to get to you, and whatever news that is, it's connected to maybe a government agency or something like that, something that has your government name. No matter what you go by, they have like the full first, middle, and last name. Actually, first and last name is what I saw, so I won't add any more sauce to that by saying middle name, but first and last name. If there's any organization, job, whatever that has that information, they will be delivering you some important news within this month, within these next few months, so September through November. It's really important to look at that, and I feel like it'll be more than one, just because I saw more than one in the dream. I think I saw like 4 envelopes addressed to me with my government name on them, and I was like, okay. I didn't open up the letters, so I'm not necessarily sure exactly what is inside of them. I just know that they were addressed to me, and honestly, receiving letters in the mail like that in a dream lets me know that it's something that we gotta look out for. Okay, and that doesn't necessarily just have to come in the mail, though I see that being like the most prominent way. So wherever you get your mail from, just like look out for it. Okay. But it can also come in the form of an email or a call or just any other like form of communication. But I just see that it's really important. You know what I'm saying? If it's a call and you answer and they're like, can I speak to such and such, and it's your first and last government name, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Just look out for it. Like I said, I don't know the contents of that mail, what it is that you need to do with it, but just be mindful of it. Okay, that's the first one. The second vision that I had was that if you know anybody that is in high school, and that's a girl, like our high school girlies, if you have a high school daughter or a niece or cousins or whatever, please let me say it this way. Please, like, be mindful of their dating life and their dating experiences at this time. If they are thinking about dating, hopefully you're a trusted individual or trusted adult or whatever, that that these young folks, I say young because I'm 30, I'm not in high school anymore, but that these folks can, that these high school girls can like come to and talk to, if you are that. For some of them, whether you do mentorship or things, whatever, I saw in one of my visions to be very mindful of their dating experiences, especially if they are like actively dating somebody, because I'm seeing kind of like some movement of betrayal. Okay, I'm seeing some movement of betrayal in their dating experiences, and I'm seeing that they're going to need some support through their dating experiences, whether or not it will actually have betrayal. I see that, honestly, when I say it, I feel like that's only going to apply for some people, like, you know what I'm saying? So don't go to your high school girlies and be like, don't mess with nobody because they all cheating right now. Like, no, that's going to apply to some folks, but no matter the way the wind is blowing, just try to be supportive and try to collaborate with them. Try to, listen out and hear what they have to say. Help them work through whatever problems or whatever, the thoughts that they're thinking around this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, make it a teachable and a learning experience for you both. Because I'm really just seeing that our high school girlies are going to need a lot of support in their dating lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about myself at that age and just thinking about, like, all, like, you know what I'm saying? No matter where you are, if you're a girl too, right? And you think about you were dating in high school and, you know what I'm saying, you was trying to date whoever, like, just think about, like, what your body and all of those experiences were like for you and how you had to deal with them, because that's going to be either, like, it's going to be important in, like, helping out the girls, okay? That's not actually what I wanted to say, but I was saying to, like, think about that, because, like, they may be feeling something similar, or I'll just use myself as an example. Like, I was the type to crash out in high school, okay? My emotions were all over the place. They were big, and I was very impulsive about the way that I acted, especially when it comes to things like relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very sensitive thing for me, like, especially experiencing betrayal in relationships and things like that. Like, that stuff can, like, really, really, if you don't have a lot of things in check, if you don't have the support that you specifically need, it can lead to a lot of crash outs, a lot of just, like, extra stuff going on, and just a lot of impulsive, violent actions, okay? Which is why I see that support for high school girls are needed. I didn't really see anything about the boys. It was like the vision specifically came to me about the girls and dealing with betrayal and maybe even jealousy. Even if betrayal isn't there specifically, there may be feelings of, like, jealousy, or, there's all of these different, how do I want to say it? Like, rules when it comes to dating, right? Like that, when we're in high school and we're still trying to just figure out life, we're growing up, but we're still kind of, like, young in a lot of ways, like thinking very to our time, to the capacity that we have in that moment. And, things like seeing your partner, seeing the person that you're interested in, because this was a very specific way that it came to me in a vision, was that seeing your partner, like, kind of mingling with other people that could be interested in him. I want to say other girls, but it could just be anybody. But yeah, see, it's, entertaining other relations, you feel me? Like that kind of thing can, like, lead to some of our high school girls crashing out as well. So even though that may not necessarily be an overt act of betrayal, it's still something that our high school girls may need help in managing and figuring out for themselves and like talking through. And so if you have it in you, the spirits gave me the vision so that I can share it, so that we can all kind of step up, because I have some high school cousins, and I'm gonna have to be big cuz elsewhere. Really just have to do that. I think I only got like one though, so I'm on the lucky side. If you have more than one, I'm wishing you so much love and blessing in that, because I know that you're gonna need it, and they're gonna need it as well. Let me see. And that's specifically within their dating experiences. I don't see that with much else. Okay, so the third one that I had, and this kind of relates, but this doesn't just focus on our high school girlies. This also includes just girls. If you identify as girl, woman, lady, femme, female, this will apply to all of that, okay? And so what I'm seeing within this third vision that I wrote down was that there's a lot of like girlhood, sisterhood, coming together. I wanted to say that first, start off with that, coming together of the girls, okay? Like there seems to be girl groups forming. I put that specifically as the title of this vision, like girl groups. Yeah, just girls coming together. I'm seeing that that will be very prominent for September through November. There was something else that I wanted to say about that. Okay, so I'm seeing the coming. There was a few different parts to this. So there's the part of the coming together, and this may not necessarily all just be harmonious, right? Like you may not just like find your match or whatever. If you're a girl looking for like, you know, a group of girlfriends or something like that, like you actually may find it in this time. You feel me? But I don't see that will be a smooth experience for everybody. You may run into some girl groups that may have a bit of like, that you may not click with, that you may not vibe with. But I would encourage you to keep on looking, because there seems to be spaces where, like, you know, we'll come together. I say we because I'm a part of that too, right? Where we come together, where we gather together, where we figure out how to manage resources is something that I saw in the dream. So in the dream, because I feel like if I explain the dream, then maybe it'll make a bit more sense. But in the dream that I had, that Spirit wanted me to share, that my spirits wanted me to share, let me be specific. It was like we were all in this house together, and this was like just one of the many dreams that I had around this same theme. But we were all in this house together, and I had like came in like around like dinner time where like food was being served, right? So like there's all of these like different types of things. I guess it's kind of like potluck style, right? There was like waffles, there was chicken legs, there was cheesecake, there was cinnamon rolls, there was muffins, there was fruit, there was just like all of this food, but it was dispersed in different parts of the house. Rather than it being like in just the kitchen, it was dispersed in all different kinds of the house, or different parts of the house. Whew. Let me slow down. So, and kind of when I came in the dream, I was looking specifically for the chicken legs. That's not really important, but I was looking for the chicken legs. But as I was looking for the chicken legs, I was coming across different, it was like, okay, there was someone specifically, because like I said, the food was all dispersed around the house, right? But there was one person specifically that had the chicken legs that I wanted, but I had to like kind of go through this girl and ask this girl who knows this girl if she knows the girl that has the chicken legs. Like I had to kind of go through a few different channels, and like every dream that I've had around this has been like that, right? So in this coming together, that's why I'm like, it doesn't necessarily feel like the group is like formed just yet, but that, you know, you kind of like pulling the pieces and meeting with people and kind of like coming together like that as well. So in that, I also want to say, like, in this coming together is like trying to help figure out how to manage resources as well, because the part about the food being dispersed all over the house instead of it being kind of like in a collective space that makes sense where everybody is going to join and visit, means that, like, you know, we have to kind of figure out in these girl groups, right, how to pull these resources together. So I just really see within this frame of time, and for this area, right, that like somehow the strings are pulling to where the girls are meeting, and we're kind of forming or will be in motion to form some collective group or sisterhood or meeting space with 1 to 2 or more, okay, groups of girls, okay. So that was the third one. I hope that one made sense. I went kind of off a little bit, but it's all connected, I promise. So that's girl groups, and this, like I said, this is not specific to an age group at all. Like, there just seems to be some like vibe of sisterhood in the air, okay? And I can dig it. I thought this was a very specific vision for my spirits to want to share, but hey, it's there. So the fourth one. Okay, let me add a little bit to the girl group before I go to the last one that I have. And that is, that is that I also see that in response, how did I word this? Yesterday when I did this video, it's like this, I said this vibe of like sisterhood in the air. And this may be, and I feel like, it's 2 things. Oh my gosh, I talk so fast. Okay, so the first thing is that even though I sense these girl groups, I did see some men being involved as well, or like them kind of assisting in some kind of way. But I like the ratio to the men that were involved to the girls was just like, you know, it was like 1 to 12, 1 to 6. It was very, very few compared to the girls that were involved in the space. Okay. So that was one note. And then the second note, was that I also saw within these kind of different dreams that this was also going to be kind of like putting men on pause. Like whatever men is doing and got going on, especially, actually not just men in general, but kind of like, I feel like that kind of sisterhood vibe is, some of it is coming in part due to like needing to get away from the way that, you know, I want to say niggas be acting, okay? That just be like too much, too maddening, too harmful, too just like you're doing the most, okay? Going from you're doing the most to like just being full out aggressive and harmful and like abusive even. Like I feel like these groups, the sisterhood air is in the vibe. This sisterhood vibe is in the air in response to that in some ways, for some of us, not for all of us, but for a good chunk. I feel like it's in response to that, like, you know what, I just need to be with the girls. I just need to, you know, it's not just be with the girls, it's just like really come together and, like I said, figure out how to like manage resources, figure out how to like, you know, get fed, right, spiritually, socially, physically, like, you know, really get like, you know, some nutrition in there. And that's why I think it was important that food was being shown in the one dream I had. But okay, but yeah, I see that some of the coming together is in response to like putting men's doing too much to abusive behaviors on pause, being like, we need to get away from that. Just like, not even just like we need a break, or we need a break from that. Because what I saw in that dream as well was like this white man coming up out of nowhere, just like doing the most. And it was like one of us just had a remote and was like, boom, and we put him in a room and was like, we just gonna put you on pause. We put you on pause. We all kind of came together to like, you know, really put that man in his place and put him on pause for a second. And so I kind of see that happening as well. And then we all had like a merry time again. This was a separate dream, but it was like then all the girls came together. We ate good food. We shared stories. It was lovely and nice. And yeah. So Spirit is highlighting that those girl groups are happening. So if you were looking for that, that is useful to you. And sorry, the third thing that I have to say is that if you have girls that if you have someone like a really good friend that has like left your life a while ago, y'all fell out, something like that, that could also be returning at this time to make amends. And like, you'll see that you're in different spaces. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to continue your friendship. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't see and sense that that's kind of like what the call is. You can make that choice on your own, but I'm just saying that may come back around. And then the other note that I had, oh my gosh, I promise you I'm gonna be done with this one. The girl groups one gave me a lot to like work with, y'all. The last thing I wanted to say is that some of the girls that you might be meeting might not necessarily be someone that you automatically relate to, right? Like, you may not be how do I want to say? Yeah, it may not be somebody that you're used to or familiar with. Like, it may be someone who is in a completely different field of interest, right, than you are, but that could be useful. Again, it's like, this will kind of lead you to this and this and this and this. And like, even with all of this, I don't necessarily get that there is this need to be like besties at the end of the day, but there is a level of like a high level of support and all of this stuff, right? A high level of support and girls coming together and working it through and doing the things, okay? And I'm 100% sure that is already happening, but for some reason Spirit wants to kind of be like, be very mindful. This is a fruitful thing, okay? So yeah, they may not be girls that you're used to, and even if they don't come in the form of like actual people, they won't always come like that too. I saw something about that coming together via the internet. So like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody that you follow, I don't know, I'm giving a scenario. Somebody that you follow, that you really admire, another woman that you really admire, and you know, you are in the comment section, and then you talk to somebody else, or you comment under somebody else's comment about the same video, and then somehow that opens up a conversation. Or maybe you just go look at their page and you're inspired by something that they do, and now it leads you down a different rabbit hole. I kind of see that kind of thing happening as well. And I promise you that's my last note about that. All right. So my fourth vision that I have right now to share is to be mindful, and this is for everybody. This is all genders included, right? That be mindful of the altercations that you get to. Do not be so quick to get into arguments and altercations. I feel like that's always a message, but I see that how, for some reason in this season, I didn't mean to rhyme, but for some reason in this season, like, these altercations can end up turning, no matter how small they start off, they can kind of start to involve whole families. I don't know why, and it's violent. I see violence surrounding it, okay? Or just violence and or just chaos. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much going on. But for some reason, these things escalate to where like entire families start to get involved, right? So it could just be one person to one person, and the next thing you know, like somewhere along the way, it's including aunts, uncles, moms, grandmas, granddads, like the kids. Like, it's just doing too much at that point, okay? So please be mindful about that in this season, because for some reason, like, it's just something is kind of like carrying that up, and I see it kind of happening fairly quickly. Not so quickly, not like necessarily in a day, but like more so like within the matter of time, like, you know, not everybody in your family ducking. And I see that specifically within your family, within your kin, and all of them. Okay. There was another note that I had about that, though. What was it? My sister has on music, so I'm kind of getting a little distracted. But there was something else that I had to say. But yeah, just please. Oh, it was to, if it's not you, because I, like, when I got this vision, I was like, I don't be in no mess anyway. So I was like, I'm good. But they said check on your family members. If you know you have some high-head cousins, if you know you have some people that's just kind of doing too much, on a spiritual note, set out a glass of water, cool your family down. Set out that glass of water, pray over that water, and cool your family down. Call out their names and be like, hey, now I know you about it. I know you about it, Uncle yada yada. But listen, right now, I ain't about it. And whatever you getting into, apparently I'm getting into it too. Okay? And I don't need them problems. So, for real though, like, check on your people. You know what I'm saying? Give them something else to do instead. Invite them over. Have a little good time. And that's also a good tip too. Like, if you invite them over, y'all hang out or whatever, set that glass of water somewhere. Make it be a cool time, a chill time. Like, we vibe and we just having we in the clouds kind of time, okay? That's what we need during this season, because for some reason, like I said, they trying to, whatever is moving is trying to, like, catch everybody, give everybody a stray, and, like, yeah, no, we can't have that. So I'm like, dang, I need to go put because I got a few cousins. I got on both sides. On both sides that's liable to do too much as well. So a lot of cooling down in this fall time. I don't think that there's anything else. If there is, I'll make another video. But those are what I have today. I'm really wanting to say, you know, prophecies and visions are not meant to be, like, you know, terrifying. They're supposed to help us and, like, get us ready to deal with whatever is up in the air for us to deal with. What else did I want to say about that? I think that was really it, y'all. Like, you know, be mindful of your people. Be mindful, okay? And honestly, until next time, y'all.